So the first time I came to Cebu, I was lucky enough to have some lunch with a couple of my staff, my team, and we had a great lunch, but we had heaps of leftovers, and we decided we'd take that food, box it up and take it out to some of the kids I'd seen earlier on the street. We took it outside, gave it to them, and it was honestly like all of their Christmases had come at once. They were just amazed that we'd given them all this food, and honestly there was quite a bit left over. But the thing was, they were sitting there, literally in their underwear with no clothes on, no shoes, and I guess we just couldn't sort of leave it like that. So we went across the road, bought them some clothes, and the reality of it was that those clothes really only cost me a few dollars. We took the clothes back across the street, and it was amazing to see these kids. Obviously, now that they had food in their stomachs, they were a lot happier. We gave them the bag of clothes. They reached in, and the first thing they grabbed was the shoes. Now, the interesting thing was that in Australia, probably for vanity reasons, I think if you were sitting there in your underwear, you'd probably put on the t-shirt and the shorts first. The reality of it was that those kids saw the practical benefits of the shoes that were far greater level of importance to them than the actual t-shirt and shorts. So I guess you start to realise really what's important to the people here. You realise that in Australia we have different perspectives about things, and you realise what it takes to have impact on their lives. I'm lucky enough now to have lots of Filipino friends, and the interesting thing is they often send me messages or they greet me on WhatsApp during the day, and almost on a daily basis I get them sending me messages saying, have you eaten? And initially I thought, what a ridiculous question. Of course in Australia I've eaten breakfast, I've eaten lunch, I've eaten dinner, and I've probably eaten snacks in between. Truth be known, on most days I've probably eaten too much. So I guess the point is that Filipinos directly associate have you eaten a good meal with have you had a good day. And I learned more and more about that as time went on. I don't really feel like I'm a rich man. I obviously have had my fair share of ups and downs over the years, but I really do feel like I've got an opportunity to make a difference. Every day I wish I had the means to do more, but over the last few years I've realised that even a small change the way you do things and what you can do can make a massive difference to the people over here. And I see that more and more every day. Ultimately, I can't do this project all by myself, and I really do need your help. What I'm looking for is some help to build a restaurant. There's two things we really want to do here. We want to build a restaurant because food is really the essence of what brings families together in the Philippines. It's what they fundamentally need most. But what a restaurant will also do is it will actually create employment in provincial areas of the Philippines, or the country areas of the Philippines, where if someone is employed, ultimately they're going to share that money with their entire family. So it really does make. Filipinos have such close-knit families, and so the combination of food and that employment is going to make a massive difference. Every day I work with my virtual assistant, Rich, who lives here in Cebu, and we obviously are talking on the phone day in, day out. And it was actually her daughter, Kirsten, who inspired this whole idea. She used to come home at lunchtime with a whole group of friends, and I'd say to Rich, what's all the noise? I could hear the kids running around having a great time in the background. And later I had Rich explain to me that it was actually her daughter, her 8-year-old daughter, bringing home her friends because she knew that they had...
When I was in school, I asked my friend that if they want to go in our house to eat for lunch, and then they said okay, and they said they were shy, and I said don't be, it's okay, you'll be fine. And then that day I felt helpful, kind, and respectful. I love my friends, they are special to me.
She really, it really touched me that she wanted to sort of look after her friends that were otherwise going to school without often breakfast or even lunch. So what we need to raise 25,000 Australian dollars. Now, at the end of the day, This money will help us actually build the restaurant. It will help us employ some qualified staff that have already run similar restaurants in other areas before. As I said, that in itself will create the employment that we so desperately need in these provincial areas. But first and foremost, it will actually give us the opportunity to sponsor some kids to actually go to school, get their school books and their fees and what they need to actually attend school, and ultimately feed them. Put food in their mouths, especially for breakfast and for lunch when they're going to school. So your choices right now are ultimately whether or not you can afford to share some of your hard-earned dollars. And the reality of it is that a lot of charities in Australia that most Aussies do donate to have a lot of admin costs, and a lot of money goes to just running the charity. This is a little bit different. This is a direct project. You're going to, every dollar that you spend will go directly into this restaurant and ultimately into feeding these kids. And we do plan on sharing the videos and giving you the same, I suppose, happiness that I get from doing these projects. At the end of the day, you will see a restaurant that will be built literally within a couple of months of us starting this project. So thank you in advance for being kind enough to really, offer your support. We really, really, really do appreciate it. And on behalf of all the kids that I've obviously seen and that no doubt you will see in this video, Salamat, we really appreciate your help.